Well, here's more now on the definition of a hate crime in the U.S., according to the FBI. A hate crime in the United States is a traditional offense like murder, arson, or vandalism with an added element of bias. Hate itself is not a crime, and the FBI is mindful of protecting freedom of speech and other civil liberties. The U.S. Congress has defined a hate crime as a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against a race, religion, disability, ethnic origin, or sexual orientation. For continuing up-to-the-minute coverage of this story, be sure to visit voanews.com. Now, a string of deadly police incidents in the U.S. has led to more frequent use of police body cameras in an effort at a greater transparency. But this is raising new concerns about civil liberties and privacy for both citizens and law officers. VOA's Raffaele has more.
From the deadly police shooting of an unarmed man in South Carolina captured on cell phone, to protests and riots over police-related deaths in Baltimore and elsewhere, U.S. law enforcement officials are under intense scrutiny. In May, the Obama administration announced $20 million in grants to dozens of local police departments to expand use of body cameras. At a town hall meeting hosted by VOA and the museum in Washington, panelists said the advent of body cameras raises complicated legal questions. Tucson, Arizona's police chief, Roberto Villaseñor, joined the discussion by video remote. Some of his 1,000 officers are using body cameras, and he has concerns.
Sometimes situations develop so dynamically and so quickly that an officer may not have time to turn the camera on. So people say, well, then just leave them on all the time. But then what about the privacy issues for the officer? When they're eating lunch, when they're going to the restroom?
Legal experts also worry a citizen's privacy may be compromised. Jonathan Smith is Associate Dean at the University of the District of Columbia's Law School.
The more complicated issues are, how do you deal with victims of sexual assault? How do you deal with domestic violence victims? What do you do when you go into a home where there may be a collateral consequence to a low-income family on their ability to continue on public benefits or the custody of their children? And how do you protect from somebody getting that kind of information online and how that's released?
Another concern for law enforcement is the role of video evidence in prosecutions. Former U.S. Capitol Police Chief Terrence Gaynor.
When you're in the middle of these tough set of circumstances and you come in and make your report, it wouldn't surprise me if the filming of that there's inconsistencies. Mm-hmm. And again, if that's going to turn our criminal justice system upside down because what I said is not precisely what was on there, there's a big danger in that too.
The panelists agreed that the use of new technology and its ability to stoke public outrage and distrust creates a bigger need for accuracy on the part of law enforcement and the media. Raffaele, VOA News.
Well, be sure to watch the entire VOA Newsroom Town Hall special online at voanews.com.